Everybody notice the difference in what you notice, okay? It's based off the interactions you've been getting through housekeeping and the pet stuff, okay? So Tammy wants you to know that she'd like you to request a hearing on it, okay? And that's something that you just have to, within 10 days of getting a call up there and schedule an appointment with her, and you visit with her and that. Maybe you guys can talk about these infractions and what's going on, okay? Um, we got the housekeeping situation. They haven't been able to treat the butt because they haven't been able to do any housekeeping. And we've had numerous times with the cat, out in the halls and running like we talked about, okay? You understand that? So I'm just going to give you a copy of it. And like I said, just within 10 days of this, if you give a call to the office, and talk to me, schedule an appointment, chat with you, okay?
Okay.
Copy of it, okay? You understand all that?
Yep.
Like I said, it would just be an informal thing. They may even come meet with you here if you'd rather do it here rather than go to therapy. But they'll, just let them know if it's hard for you to get up there or whatever. Sometimes they can do it here in the building here so you don't have to travel, okay?
Alright.
Thank you.
Thank you. Told you. I knew they were gonna do this. I knew it. I knew it. This ought to get me going. Yeah. I knew it. Okay. So, this is what housing is doing. Getting ready to do. So, already made the call. Matter of fact, I'm gonna call Matt or Nat, and see if he picks up. And, see what happens. It's funny how they rather just put you out of some place instead of helping you find a place when you're not happy at the place you are anymore, and you're not growing, and you feel stagnant, and you tell them these things. And of course they'll probably say, oh, you never told us this. Yes, I did. You showed up at my door a couple times. And if we want to go over those videos over the past 2-3 years, to find those videos where you showed up at my apartment and I'm like, hey, I don't feel good, I don't feel right, I don't feel happy here, I'm not doing what I want to do, I'm not living how I want to live, and I'm asking you to help me move, and you say, oh, well, you have to find a place, and I'm like, well, I don't even know where to look, and you say, well, I guess you're not moving out of here, in your own way that you say that, then yeah, so where am I supposed to go if I get put out of here? A disabled person who really don't have any ties to this place, don't have any family to live out here, don't know anybody. Am I supposed to just be a person vulnerable to the elements outside? Are you really more willing to help somebody who's an immigrant in this community more so than you're willing to help me? Why can't you just be willing to help us both equally? That doesn't make sense to me. Yet here I sit, with this eviction notice in my hand, and all I wanted was help. Oh, but I was told not to expect to get the help that I need in this area, because the help that I need is way more, extravagant than what this area can give me. Given the fact that, the therapist at Bridgeway that I went to go see told me to just forget about the trauma that I went through, that I had already tried to forget about 15 years before I went to go see that therapist. Yeah, yeah, I understand. I can see that this area doesn't have the help that I need. Okay, so why not help me move to an area that could help me? That do have the right resources. That ain't just trying to shove a bunch of pills down my throat. Why not? Why does it have to be this way? And I'm not the first person this was this way for, and I'm not the only person this is going to be this way for. And it's horrible. Do y'all just get tired of trying to help people? Because this is the first time of me asking you for help. I didn't ask y'all for help when I was in school trying to get my associate's degree that I never got from that school. Took me 3 other tries just to get the certificate in the studies that I was trying to get my degree in. And excuse me, but CPTSD, your brain stopped working when you hit with a traumatic situation and a traumatic issue. Now I'm really ready to go. I was wondering if this is what was gonna happen. If they were just gonna throw a eviction notice at me, and then it doesn't. You saying you're gonna punish me because I'm already not doing good is not gonna help me or make me feel like, oh, I gotta snap out of it. There's nothing for me to snap out of. I'm having real serious issues and I need help, and there's no way I can just snap out of this issue that I'm having. There's no way to just deal with it. And so it's real upsetting to me and frustrating to me that I'm asking for this help and you're not understanding what help I'm asking for, the mental and emotional help, the support that I should have that I don't have, that I'm asking you for, because you're supposed to help people who live in this building and are disabled. And you don't. Y'all let a dead man sit in here for 2 months and become mummified because he didn't have anybody to come check on him. Nobody came to check on him. Nobody, his rent was directly connected and tied to his account. So as long as y'all was getting the money pulled out of the account, you really didn't care. You didn't care until because the lights are connected to the lease, the lights and electric, paying those making those payments are connected to the lease until he got a shut off notice. Y'all wasn't worried about that man and you didn't care about him. And then went up in his apartment 2 months later to find that he was mummified in there, sitting on his couch or chair. I didn't know anything about it until there was a news article about it. I didn't know anything about the fire or fire threat we almost occurred or encountered 2-3 months ago until there was a news article about it. And that news article said everybody was evacuated. No, they weren't. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who wasn't evacuated from the building during that fire threat. I'm definitely sure of that because y'all got people, y'all know that the fires happen, okay? Just because we live, a block from the fire department doesn't mean that this building won't go up like fireworks on the 4th of July. Especially with this building being as old as it is. The Federal Housing Authority didn't build this building. Somebody bought this building and they bought it from a school or something like that, I heard, and it got renovated into the apartment building that it is now. And the person who bought this building leased it to the Federal Housing Authority. This building has been sitting here, according to the people that live in this area, who've lived here, that are 60 years and older. They said this building was here when they were children. So this building has to be almost 100 years old. This high rise. So who knows? Only God knows what is inside the walls as far as messed up chemicals that can mess your life up and different stuff like that. The outside wall to this building is nothing but what do they call it? Drywall. That's dry. There's a paneling. There's bricks on the outside. Then paneling is on the inside, and in between the outside and the inside is a thin layer of what do you call it? I forgot again. It's a thin layer of yeah, you know the thing I said before. This happens when you know, I'm working on not going into that mindset. It's really hard, especially when you dealt with CPTSD all your life and you've done the mitigation efforts to try and mitigate in the moment of a traumatic experience or the aftermath of a traumatic experience. You don't have to be yelled when you suffer from CPTSD. You don't have to be yelled at. You don't have to be threatened, even though this is a threat, because it's a threat against my life, because it's a threat that, I have to vacate in the next 30 days, and I can call them and talk to them and set up a meeting, but that doesn't fully, you know, submit the fact that I, won't be put out of here. That's just to say, hey, what's going on, and Tammy knows what's going on. Tammy knows. She's the one who told me twice. Oh, I'll be over here to help you clean up. But you gotta start. Okay, I started. She didn't show up. You know, the other time she said, okay, I'll bring a broom, and I told her I got a broom, but you can bring your own if you want to, cause she could have never showed up. And they know I don't have any family out here. I have nobody out here. My mom who was out here, and then she was taken from out here and moved to a different place. My oldest brother, who I wasn't really close to anyway, he put 8 stitches in my head. He was out here, and that's one of the reasons why I got this apartment in the first place. I'm grateful for it, but I can't grow where I'm at. And that's what I want to do. And you could say, well, how are you a 36-year-old woman talking about wanting to grow? Because my life ain't the same as everybody else's. I didn't grow up in a wonderful home with wonderful people raising me. I didn't grow up in a semi-functional home with semi-functional people raising me. I grew up in very horrid conditions everywhere I went. And when I say horrid, it doesn't necessarily mean that I was living in squalor. And when I in my developmental years, between the ages of 1 to 5, yeah, I was living in very squalid, very dire and dour conditions that they sought to put me back into when I was 15 years old. 14, 15 years old. And I started trying to run away from there. I started running away from there. And then the aunt who kicked me down the stairs when I was a 4-year-old, who they put me back with, turned me into a criminal, because that's what she wanted to see me as. You're nothing but a criminal. She called her FBI buddies on me at 14 years, 15 years of age. Never should have went with the girl next door that was supposed to be my friend, who blamed, the incidents that happened when, we left. She wanted to run away from home. So she's like, go get run away from me. I'm like, no, you don't need to run away. That's what I was saying. And then she was like, come on, Nina, come on, let's go. I want to go. Da-da-da. So she talked me into leaving and running away, because that was my forte. I was a runner. With any problems, anything I didn't want to deal with, I left. That's what I did. Didn't know where I was going and what I was going to do. Could have been worse than where I was at, but I thought at that moment it would be better than what the hell I was going through, where nobody wanted to talk to me. Nobody wanted to. You don't have to understand, but at least you can listen to, what I'm saying. It's hard for you to understand when you don't know, because you haven't been through it. I get that. I get that. But can you see that it's hard for me to see how things are the way you are, because I've never had that. I've never been there. And I'll never have certain things that you have. Do I want better? Yes. I probably, your way of getting there probably won't work for me. Can you help me find my own way? And then I find my own way, and nobody want to help me down that route. Nobody wants to help me walk that road. They always leave me to walk it on my own. That's why this world ain't for me. It really isn't. I want better. This world says no. You can't have better. You want better. You're trying to work for it, and because the these people, uh, they're not going to support you. You're not going to get the support you need. You're not going to get the help you need. You cannot succeed, and I'll make sure of that. I'll make sure that you suffer horribly and undeniably until your last day. You know that the world hated you. You're going to know that before you leave here. However you leave here. You want a reprieve? Ha! Ha! All you're gonna get is the world laughing at you. Which I did graduate my certificate in medical billing and coding. I can't use it because I can't even get to the proctor site that's all the way in Peoria for me to take the proctoring exam to get my license to be able to do medical billing and coding in the first place. Can't do that. So there's that. Money wasted 3 times. All that information, all that knowledge, all that time wasted in the school for, a certificate that I can't even use, and I gotta pay the school back. I gotta pay student loans back. So this, I don't know. I'll call and beg them to not put me out because I really don't have any place to go. But we'll see. I will keep you updated. This is what sometimes when you plan it right, the end of the dark night of the soul isn't that bad. But sometimes when you have a hard time planning it because you have a hard time getting your mind together just to even get up out of bed every day and get anything done that you said you were going to get done, which you don't really even get done because once again your mind is not together and you can barely get into the kitchen, wash the dish, and make you something to eat. It ends really badly. And I always wonder why people lose when they're in the dark night of the soul. Why do you lose the only parent that's there, that's willing to help you, that's willing to be there for you and with you through any of your struggles? And I wouldn't even told my mama about this. I didn't even tell her about me, having the issues of cleaning my house like that. I didn't share that with her. And my house, this is what my house looks like. Okay, this is what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Okay, all of this, all of that. Okay, so I need to clean. I guess I'll get to cleaning. My issue is I don't want to be bitter. People, they go through what they go through and they come out the other side and they seem functional, but they're really not. They're really bitter, mean, sad, evil people to the point where you can't really even call them people anymore. But because, they, made the decision to get up and, get stuff done, and they seem functional, they're, acceptable to the world and acceptable to society. But they're not happy. They're not happy. They don't have a self to say, I take care of myself. They don't have that. They're miserable. And I would rather still have me and be miserable than to not have a me and be miserable and be cold and dead on the inside. They're so cold and dead on the inside and unhappy. And I don't want to be that way. I don't want to be them. I don't want to be just another person telling somebody who's going through things that I've been there before, and I can understand, to just get over it. I don't want to be just another one of those people. How did you get over it? And if they lie and say I pulled myself up by my bootstraps, I know you fucking lying. So, if anybody has any advice on how to take care of what needs to be taken care of without losing myself, without becoming an evil, bitter person that tells everybody to just get over what they have to get over and yada 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 yada, and to be given that fucked up ass advice, and maybe not get evicted and hopefully get moved to a place where I can get the help that I need, please let me know. I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching this video and for listening. And have a great day.